welcome to YesJapan.com Ask a Teacher Live. This is number 91. We have a lot of good questions today. I'd like to get right to them. First question is from Wrath of Slime. Not sure if he's still in the room. He is. He stayed up very late to get to this. He says, what is the meaning behind the use of ri after the verbs in this sentence? Purikura tottari, gohan tabe ni ittari. Great question. This is what it is. So you have this combination of it's basically the ta form plus a ri, right? So, A shitari, B shitari shimasu. It's I will do things like A and B. It's a representative list of the things you're going to do. That's it. Very simple. A shitari, B shitari. Hey, what did you do this weekend? I did some A and I did some B. A shitari, B shitari, shimashita. And you end it with that. Shimashita. But you don't have to. You could just answer A shitari, B shitari. It's better to say than shimashita, but you don't have to. And that's what your friend did. But I want to talk about just one word before we even show your complete sentence. This word right here that came up, purikura. Purikura. This actually means print club. And this purikura is still very huge in Japan. All young girls do it pretty much. It's where they go into a photo booth and they get their picture taken. And then the software nowadays totally makes them look totally weird, beautiful anime looking. It makes their eyes like double the size. It cleans up their skin. It puts sparklies everywhere. And then you can like add things. You can do whatever you want. You have all this customization that you do. And then the stickers print out. I highly recommend you try it at least once. And if you can do it with a cute Japanese girl, bonus! Oops. Ooh, wow. Hang on. This got a little bit screwed up. Give me 1 second. The iPad does not like this. There we go. All right, so here's your sentence. Purikura tottari, gohan, and I forgot tabe, but gohan tabe ni ittari. So it's, I will do things like take purikura and go eat. But it could also be past tense, right? Shimashita. I did things like eat and take purikura. So whatever the question is, like what did you do this weekend? It might be something study shimashita. I did these things. You could take that last verb and also make it want to. For example, I want to do things like Kankoku ni ittari, Chugoku ni ittari, shitai desu. I want to do things like go to Korea, go to China. So you could take that last verb form and it affects all of the items in that list, that study list. Hopefully that answers your question. It's an awesome question. Thank you. Next question is from Velasinox. What is the literal meaning of skoshi? I have seen it used as a little, as in Nihongo ga skoshi wakarimasu. But I've also seen chotto used for a little, but a more nuanced form of little, like almost a minor way of saying no. Or would it be difficult? Good question. Really good question. And this is one of those questions that I classify as typical beginners what the hell is this type of a thing. And there's a lot of questions like this. This is one of them. You learn chotto and you learn skoshi, and there's a lot of stuff like this. When you learn a language, you're going to find 2 or 3 ways to say similar things, and you don't know what the difference is, and sometimes there's a small nuance change, and sometimes it really doesn't matter. But try asking a Japanese person, hey, what's the difference between skoshi and chotto? They don't know. Why don't they know? And why do I know that they don't know? Because number one, I don't know. I have to look things up to know. I don't know what the difference between skoshi and chotto is right away. I'm going to tell you what I found out. But the biggest thing to come away with before I tell you what any of this is that even Japanese people on the internet are asking this question. I saw a post where people were like, how do I explain this to people when they ask if they're American? I don't know how to explain it. What is the difference really? And then people are trying to give answers, but the answers are vague and hard to understand. They don't really change anything. All right, so here is the actual definition of skoshi, right? It's a small quantity, a little, a few, or, what's that last thing? Something. Something? I don't know where that came from. All right, then you've got this word that also has the same kanji, tsukunai. And this is how I always remember what skoshi does. It means a few. You could say, for example, if you walk into a room, you wouldn't say there's chotto hito in the room, or you wouldn't even say skoshi hito, right? Skoshi people. You'd say hito ga tsukunai. There are a few people. There are few people. Tsukunai desu ne. There's not that many, right? Tsukunai desu ne. And that's the same kanji, if that gives you a little bit of a hint about what skoshi does. Then you've got this chotto. Now remember, skoshi in the dictionary says a few items. But if you look at this, it says short time. So instead of limited items, we're talking about time, apparently. Just a minute is another way that this is used. Chotto. Chotto matte, wait. And just a little. Chotto. And this is typically the hand gesture that they do, right? They go, chotto. Can you speak English? Chotto. This means a little bit in Japanese. And it means chotto. Almost never will you hear people say skoshi here. I've seen it though. A weird thing too, have you ever heard Americans do this? I've heard them say, if you're a skosh short, you can just take a penny from the drawer. Like skosh. I don't know where this is done, like Utah or somewhere. I don't know. It must be, I always imagine it was like missionaries that came back from Japan, and they all know the word skoshi, and they say if you're a little bit, and they use the word skosh. Don't know if you've heard that. I've heard that before though. Then you've got this one. Chotto, hey. Chotto, hey. That's a whole nother thing. You couldn't do skoshi there, right? Chotto can also mean hey. And then you've got chotto with a little dot there, right? Yeah. Georgie, 明日一緒に買い物しますか? George, do you want to go shopping tomorrow? If she's cute, I'm like, yes. If she's not cute, I'm like, chotto. I'm not really committing to the no, but I'm saying I can't, right? I can't. 明日はちょっと. I'm sorry. You know what? Tomorrow's just a little bit what I have no idea. But Japanese people love to use this chotto when they don't have a direct answer as to why. They just don't want to. But in the end, I don't think I have anything else in here. In the end, you want to know how do they affect a sentence, right? Well, let's put it to the test. ちょっと話せます. I speak a little bit, and 少し話せます. I speak a little bit. Really, no difference. My professional opinion is it doesn't matter. Use either one, 少し or ちょっと. But more ちょっと for verbs. I'm just going to say that. ちょっとできない. I really can't do it. ちょっとできないですよ. ちょっとできます. 少しできます not as good as ちょっと. I shouldn't have added that. Now I've made it a little bit unclear. But in the end, it really doesn't matter. If you use either one, Japanese people are going to understand you either way. Good question. Thank you. Ai-chan 95. Now, today is Monday, by the way. At least it was when I started. It's what we do here at Yes Japan is something called Tanoshii Getsuyobi, or literally Fun Day Monday. You might have heard of that before. Well, that's why this question is the best question for today. It's from Ai-chan 95. It's, Joji Dono, did you ever have a problem using the bathroom in Japan? The squatting toilets? How did you handle it? Yes. I've had many problems using the squatting toilets. As a matter of fact, until very recently, my wife's parents in Japan, their house had a squat toilet in the house. And it seems that when I go to Japan, every time I go to Japan, I get a stomach ache and I get diarrhea. Sorry, this is very embarrassing, but I get getty, right? So what happens is I have to be on the toilet for a long time. But what happens when you have the squat toilet? You can't sit. So what I would do, and by the way, people always want to know which direction to face, right? Your butt faces towards the piping. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Wait, is that true? See, give me a second. Now I don't know. Rie-chan! Rie-chan, imasu ka? Rie-chan, which way do you face on the toilet? Yeah, okay. All right, good. I was right. Okay. You face, was I right? You face towards the plumbing. Thank you. Someone posted a picture. You face towards the plumbing, the little humpy thing, okay? I never did that though, by the way. In Japan, I was always the other way. I sat this way because the way the toilet is it feels like it should be this way with the hump behind you, but you need to face towards the hump. Anyway, when I get sick in Japan, I'm going to be very honest. You know what I do? I sit on the squatting toilet. I sit. It's very uncomfortable. But I have no other option. I just don't. I cannot squat for that long. It's impossible. But in my wife's parents' house, they have a windowsill right there. So here's one thing that I can do. I grab onto the windowsill. So for the first 10 minutes, I'm hanging on the windowsill. It's pretty bad. If I were you, I would totally avoid this bathroom. And but if you have to use it, here's a key thing I'm going to tell you. Take your pants off. Take your pants and your panties off, and your underwear if you're a boy. Take everything off. Go totally nude. Now, their toilets don't have a lot of space underneath, so like in America, we have this big gap, and everything would be out in the open for people to see. But in Japan, like, they can't see under the door, so you're safe. But the reason why I say take off your pants is because my very first experience in Japan, and I'm sorry for those of you that are watching, and for those of you that are longtime members of Yes Japan, you've seen this story before. But I was like 12 or 13, and I went to this department store, and I had to take a poop. And I go into the bathroom, and it's the squat type. So I take my pants down, not off, and I put them at the bottom, and I squat, of course, the wrong direction. I'm facing, my butt's towards the hump, it needs to be the other way. And I'm squatting, right? And I poop, and I'm like, yeah, I did it. And then I stand up, and a piece of poop, which had actually landed on my pants, goes down my leg, bloop, 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 inside my pants, and lands right on top of my shoe. I wasn't successful. Let's just say that. I was not successful at the Japanese toilet. So I remember then I get out, I've got poop all on the inside of my pants, and my dad's waiting for me outside because I'm 12, right, or I'm 13, and I go, in my high-pitched young boy voice, Dad, we need to go home. We just got here, boy. We haven't even done anything. Dad, we really need to go home. So yeah, take your pants off. That, even till this day, I don't care. I'm 40 years old. I take my pants off in the bathroom 100%. Even if the floor is clean, because a lot of times they have slippers, I make sure my shoes are far away. I want to make sure no poop gets on any of my belongings. And one time, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this last thing. So what do you do? What do you do if you just absolutely can't use a squat toilet? Look for a handicapped toilet. All handicapped toilets in Japan are yoshiki, or Western style. What we're talking about is washiki, Japanese style. Yoshiki's toilets, they are actual toilets, and they have nice big doors and help buttons if you get in trouble. It's great. I always use the handicapped room, always. Remember that. But I thought I was so smart. I was in the handicap room, and this is even on a video somewhere. It's called The George in Japan. It's part of a video. But I'm in the room, and I thought I was cool. I was filming it all, and I was like, hey, check it out. This is the secret technique that you do. And then I pooped, right? I didn't put that on camera. And then I realized there's no toilet paper at all. After I've pooped, there's no toilet paper. Some Japanese restrooms don't have toilet paper. You have to bring your own. Luckily, there was a sink right there, and I was able to fix the problem. So, yeah, be very careful. Before you poop, notice your surroundings. Make sure you have tissues if you need them, and use the handicap room. That is a Fun Day Monday question. Thank you. Best question of the day. You get the best question of the day badge. Thank you. All right. Oops. I lost the PowerPoint. Where did it go? All right, here we go. Next question is, George, hey, this is from Brutal. He says, hey, George, I was wondering what's the best way to express intentions in Japanese. Good question. There's a couple ways to do this. The one that you'll learn in a textbook right away is suru tsumori. I intend on doing. It's whatever verb tsumori. It's pretty easy, right? Ashita iku tsumori desu. I intend on going tomorrow. Iku tsumori desu. Do they use this? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds a little bit, to me, it sounds a little bit, if I could speak English, I would be able to come up with this word. I want to say tight for some reason, but that doesn't make any sense. It feels a little bit formal, but it's not formal. It seems a little bit uptight. I think that's what but it's not. It's really not. It's just, iku tsumori desu. I plan on going. It doesn't feel natural enough to me. This is typically what I might want to say. Shitai to omoimasu. I think I'd like to do it. I would like to do it. Shitai to omoimasu. Ashita ikitai to omoimasu. That's what I would say. Ashita ikitai to omoimasu. There's another way to do it too. Shiyou to omoimasu. I plan to do it. Shiyou to omoimasu. Don't let the omoimasu fool you. That just softens it up to sound nicer, but it really doesn't have anything to do with thinking. Shio meaning let's do, or I learned the other day that means volitional form. Volitional. Write that in your notebook. I hate that word, but it is apparently volitional. Shio to omoimasu. I think to let's do it is what it literally means. It makes no sense. So don't think about it that way. Just think of it as informal let's do form to omoimasu. That would be my recommendation. Good question. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone who submitted questions. If you'd like to be involved with YesJapan.com, all you have to do is become a free member. And then when we do one of these streams, you come into the stream. By the way, we have a short link now for the stream. It's YesJapan.com/ask. ASK. And that will direct you right to where the stream is. And if we have a stream coming up soon, there'll be a little timer that you can look at. Or you could follow us on Twitter and get notified. Thank you for watching. Ask a Teacher. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.